Hey guys, Never Stop Duddy here today, and we are going to be going over the Legends Festivals Legends Limited Transforming Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black's kit. I've just finished going over the Legends Limited Transforming Super Saiyan Blue Vegeto's kit, and yeah, make sure to have a look at that video because it's just insanity. I'm sure this one will be just as insane. This dude looks really good. So transforming to Super Saiyan Rose during battle, Legend Limited Goku Black joins the fight. I know a lot of people, I'm kind of amongst them as well, are a bit disappointed that it was a Synchro Fusion Goku Black and Zamasu tag that fused into Merge Zamasu, but I feel like they don't want to use that feature repeatedly, and because of that we're in a situation where if we don't get it, we're upset, but then when we do get it, we're gonna be happy. So wait for the time when it does come. There's a lot of stuff, like we could have a tag Rose Goku Black and Zamasu, we could have the transforming version like we've gotten now, so just be happy with what we've got. He looks insane with animation, so let's see how good he looks with his kit. So the number one new feature, no special cover change. So for 15 time accounts after battle starts, as well as when you max out the unique gorge, enemies will be prevented from special cover changing. That means any character will be able to go on the offense without having to worry about enemy special cover changes. So any character, so he applies this to the entire team. Okay, so not only that, but it's an effect that can't be cancelled with cancel abnormal condition effect. So yeah, for 15 time accounts, you just go crazy with your entire team. Don't have to worry about anything at all. That is straight off the bat, that's fantastic. So Super Saiyan Rose transformation, use the main ability to transform and get a big boost to damage inflicted, plus this ability grants a buff that nullifies enemy special cover changes, make it easy to use in the middle of a combo. Very nice, like just off the bat. Excellent defensive ability, so yep, just to clarify, he was a defensive type unit, so that makes sense. So Goku Black has a unique gorge that charges each time this character is hit by an enemy art. Max it out to destroy enemy cards and reduce their ki, plus activate an endurance effect and destroy your opponent's entire hand when health reaches 0. So he has endurance. That is good. So drown the world in radiant rose colored despair with Legends Limited Goku Black. Oh, I can imagine. So Goku Black, he's a yellow unit. This is before he has transformed. We are just gonna dive straight into it. His Saiyan, future, powerful opponent, everything we need to know is mainly here. So Z ability plus 30% to future, God Ki, and powerful opponent, strike and blast defense, and plus 18% to future strike attack. So yeah, similar to Vegito, their Z abilities just super buff future units, which is good. Future deserve it. So strike, so it's just okay, has a strike art card that reduces enemy health restoration on hit. I was gonna say there's no blast armor, but I guess that's decent. Has a blast arts card that restores own health when used. Okay. Special move, inflict enemy with heavy bleed on hit. Heavy bleed is always painful because that does a lot of damage over time. If the unique gorge is full, you'll even nullify enemy endurance effects. Deals massive explode damage, plus 30% special move damage inflicted for 3 time accounts upon activation, 100% chance to inflict heavy bleed on hit. So if unique gorge is full, resets own unique gorge to 0, and the following effects occur upon activation. So plus 30% to the special move damage, nullifies endurance, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, minus 30% to health restoration for 5 time accounts. Okay, blast armor as well, pretty decent blue card, like standard. And the fact that even before transformation it nullifies endurance, you can just nullify endurance every single time with the blue. That's actually really good. Most cases they have it so that before transforming you don't have this, so to have that just in general is fantastic. Okay, then the green card, a special arts that can nullify strike arts and various forward charging arts. If you manage to nullify an attack, reduce the enemy's vanishing gorge to 0% and reduce their ki by 100 for an instant chance to go for a counter attack. That sounds really good. It's one of those counter greens which is one of my favorite green cards like of all time to have, because just putting it off is the best feeling ever, because you know you're in for a good time once you got it off, and it takes skill to do it. Just saying. So applies the following effects to self upon activation: restores health by 10%, nullifies unfavorable element factors for 10 timer cards, nullifies enemies melee tap action, strike arts, and most forward charging and other special move and special arts while in fighting pose. So special move and special arts. Okay. The following effects occur if attacks are nullified: randomly draws 4 new cards if you have 3 or fewer, restores 50 ki, plus 30% to damage inflicted, reduces gorge by 0%, reduces ki by 100, and inflicts all enemies with 3 sub-counts. These 3 will activate once. That is really good to get off. To get full hand, 50 ki, more damage, guaranteed attacks. They can't do anything after your attack finishes unless you've done a short attack where a very long combo where they'll probably have the key back. But yeah, that's really good. Okay, main ability: transform into Super Saiyan Rose, restore a bunch of health and ki while also gaining a buff that nullifies enemy special cover changes. So transforming into Super Saiyan Rose, you get 30% health, 50 ki, nullifies cover changing for 10 timer cards, and cancels attribute downgrade and abnormal condition. So both these new transforming LFs can transform after 20 timer cards. That is really powerful. Normally transforming units were like after 25 timer cards. I don't know if they changed it this year because I haven't pulled any of the recent like transforming units, the Garlic Jr. and whatnot, but to my understanding it was always 25 timer cards, so that's a bit better. Okay, onto his unique ability: inflict all enemies with no special cover changing at battle start. So Goku Black has incredible defenses. Just by entering the battlefield, nullify unfavorable element factors for damage sustained, get a reduction to impact and slice damage received, and reduce all enemies special, ultimate, and awakened arts power. Yep. If the enemy uses an ultimate, awakened arts, or rising rush while Goku Black is on the battlefield, cancel enemy buff effects. You'll be able to use this character to withstand your opponent's biggest attacks. Oh, I believe so. The following effects occur when battle starts. So plus 150% to damage inflicted, reduces damage by 70%. Damn, I thought that said 50. 70% is even more ridiculous. Plus 70% to own key recovery, card draw speed, -5 to own arts costs. Inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing for 15 timer counts. So when the battle starts, this happens. So you need to utilize those first 15 timer counts to the best of your ability. If you attack first, this will kind of make the next meta be quite anti-passive, because you're going to want to attack if you have this unit on there. So you're going to be trying those mid-range strikes with blast armor, trying like long-range blast into where your opponent vanishes, forward dash into an attack, so on and so forth. Just a lot of ways to try and get priority and just attack for those first 15 timer counts to get the benefit of that. Okay, the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. So randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer, restores health by 15% 3 times, activate count is shared before and after transforming, restores own key by 30, plus 7% to damage inflicted. So it activates once, but that on top of this, that's 220%. Reduces impact, slice damage received by 10% for 10 timer counts. Nullify, he goes type neutral for 10 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, -20% to special, ultimate, and awakened arts for 50 timer counts. Applies the following effects to self upon landing strike or blast arts. Hit, activate once. So restores key by 30, 30% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts, and that resets if he swaps. Cancels enemies buff effects when they activate ultimate or awakened arts or a rising rush while this character is on the battlefield, and that happens twice. In most cases it's once, so having it twice is good. Okay, it happens before and after transforming. So it shortens own sub count by 5 when enemy activates an ultimate awakened art or rising rush while he's on standby. So it basically makes it so that he'll take all the big hits, gains value out of just being that unit who can tank those big hits, and yeah, you basically want him to take all the big hits. Has a special cover change against strike art, so that's once again one of the best kinds. Recover 20% of the damage received when an enemy attack is over. If your health reaches 0, activate an endurance effect and destroy all of your opponent's cards. The unique gorge will be charged greatly whenever Goku Black is hit with an enemy art attack when it's fully charged. Afflict all enemies with no special cover changing. Okay, so there are multiple ways to get that, it seems. So cover changes against strikes. The following effects occur when he reaches 0 health. Restores own health by 30%, cancels own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions, destroys all of your enemy's cards, and it's shared between post and pre-transformation. Okay then, so greatly charges only unique gorge every time when hit with an enemy's art attack while this character is on the battlefield. So the following effects occur once unique gorge is full. Restores own health by 20%, shortens allies sub count by 2, randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, reduces enemy key by 30, and inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing for 15 timer cards. So if you do get those first 15 timer cards and you just go crazy with it, and then you get another chance where you get this 15 timer cards, you could potentially have 30 seconds where you've just attacked, and your opponent hasn't been able to do anything other than just take those hits. And with the damage that is about to be dished out by what's to come with these new characters, it's going to be a lot doing those 30 timer counts, potential 30 timer counts. The following effects occur when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. So restores own health by 5%, inflicts enemy with +10 to all art costs for 10 timer counts, inflict all enemies with -1 card draw speed for 5 timer counts. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. So restores 20% of the damage received up to 20% of own health, and plus 30% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So you don't want to swap against this guy, and after he has finished tanking attacks, he will just be in a position where he's ready to dish out even more powerful attacks. So good luck handling that. Okay, now this is Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black after he has transformed. So don't have to worry about any of this, it's all just pretty much the same. So once he transforms, he gets blast armor. I was thinking him not having blast armor was kind of annoying, but now that he does get it and it's available after 20 timer counts, because that's when you can transform, that's really good. So strike arts have armor, so charging without fear of any blast arts. Inflicts extreme bleed on hit. Extreme bleed is insane. So it goes, to my understanding, it's bleed, there's heavy bleed, and there's extreme bleed. Extreme bleed, good luck getting hit with that, and it's 100% chance of doing it. So yeah, you're just gonna be getting melted by this guy. So blast, land of blast arts to increase the damage enemy receives. I think that was the same as before, plus 10% to damage received for 10 timer cards. Special move, okay, restore the vanishing gorge by 100% upon activating a special move one time only. So you'll now nullify enemy endurance effects when using, even when the gorge isn't full as well. Okay, so deals massive impact damage, applies the following effects to self upon activation, plus 30% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, restores vanish by 100% once only, nullifies endurance, applies the following effects to enemy upon hit. So inflicts attribute downgrade plus 10 to all art costs for 20 timer counts, and 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed, more extreme bleed if your unique gorge is full. So you basically want to prioritize using this in the best scenario. So once your unique gorge is full, resets only unique gorge to 0, and the following effects occur upon activation, plus 30%. So it goes doubles in power if you have the unique gorge filled. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 50% to health restoration for 5 timer counts. Just to clarify, I don't mean double like times 2, I mean doubles the amount of power it will increase by. Plus 30%, plus 30%, it'll go plus 60%. And it has blast armor, so that is a powerful blue card. Like, you get vanish from it, you just do a ton of damage, extreme bleed, nullify endurance whenever. It's just really good. Okay, a green card looks insane already. So gain a buff effect that nullifies special cover changes on hit. When the unique gorge is at max, restore own gorge and restore all. I've read so much today, this is insane. So restore own health and shorten the substitution counts of your allies. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. So draws 1 new card, restores ki by 50. If it hits, plus 20% to damage inflicted. Nullifies special cover changes for 10 timer counts. Inflicts enemy with minus 50% to health restoration for 5 timer counts. Comboable with everything, even itself. If you need gorge is full, so once again you want to try and prioritize using a green and blue with the gorge being full. Resets only need gorge to 0 and the following effects occur on hit. Restores own health by 10%, that's on top of everything, you're getting health back. Applies attribute upgrade minus 50% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self for 10 timer counts. That's really good. Anything to sustain damage cut being reduced, they are going to take way more damage. So yeah, always want to get a green and blue off if the gorge is full, and shortens allies sub count by 2. So we aren't even past just the card usage. That's really good. Charge the unique gorge by 100% and nullify unfavorable element factors. So draw a special move, restore own health by 20%, ki by 50, charges unique gorge by 100%. So if you are going to use a blue card straight away, it's just going to annihilate. Cancels own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions and goes type neutral for 10 timer counts, 15 timer counts. So both these new LFs can use their first and second main abilities potentially in the first 35 timer counts of the game, which is quick. That is a good amount of time to be able to do that. So first unique ability, a large buff to damage inflicted when you transform, and also reduce all enemies' health restoration by 50%. Don't give your opponent any chance to get back in the fight. So the following effects occur after transforming. So you get an additional 40% damage inflicted, additional 60% on recovery, ki recovery, plus 20% to own health restoration for 30 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with minus 50% to health restoration for 5 timer counts. 5 timer counts is a good amount of time to do stuff to your opponents. So the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Okay. So I'm just seeing whether anything seems new. It all seems pretty similar. It randomly draws 1 new card, restores own health by 50%. Get it 3 times, and that's shared before and after transforming. Restores ki by 30, reduces impact slice damage by 10% for 10 timer counts. It goes type neutral for 10 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 30% to special, ultimate and awakened arts power. Applies the following effects to self when landing a strike or blast. Activates once. Restores ki by 30 and plus 40%. I think that's increased. I think it was 30% before, now it's 40% for 10 timer counts, and it activates again upon switching out. Cancels enemies buff effects when enemy activates ultimate, awakened arts, or rising rush, and activation is shared between post and pre-transformation, and that activates twice, similar to before. Shortens own sub count by 5 when, so he'll come in and take any of the big hitters. Okay, similar to before, all of that really. Unique ability 2, after transforming, this character will have a special cover change against blast odds instead of strike. So that's going to be something that messes with people's heads, because I think it was the 5th anniversary's transforming full power Jiren. At first he covered, I can't even remember now, he covered like a strike blast, and then afterwards he covered blast, and a lot of people get confused. They would think he does blast first and then strike, and then make it so that you can just catch your opponent off guard. You need to know it's strike first, then blast odds, what they cover change. So filling up the unique gorge to max will now nullify unfavorable element factors for damage sustained and reduce your opponent's Dragon Balls. Okay, so that's a lot. So knocks the enemy cover change now to blast arts, comparable with special move. The following effects occur when health reaches 0, so restores own health by 30%, cancels own attribute downgrade and abnormal conditions, destroys all of your enemy's cards, and that's shared between both transformation and before transformation. Greatly charges own unique gorge every time when hit with an enemy's arch attack while this character is on the battlefield. So once the unique gorge is full, it resets to 0 and the following effects occur. Restores own health by 25%, was time neutral for 10 time accounts, shorts ally sub count by 2, randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, reduces enemy key by 50, reduces a dragon board that can happen twice, no special cover changing for 50 time accounts, so that's like a potential 15 on top of the 30 I said before, so 45 time accounts in total. The following effects occur when enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield. Restores own health by 5%, inflicts enemy with +10 to arts cost, inflicts everyone, all your opponents 1 less card draw speed, applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over, restores 20% of damage received and plus 40% to damage inflicted for 15 time accounts. So basically he just does everything better than after transformation compared to just being in his base form as Goku Black. He'll get 10% more damage inflicted for a lot of the stuff he's doing and just be an absolute pain. So yeah, I think his strongest ability is this new inflicts all enemies with no special cover changing for 15 time accounts. That makes it so that if you have a character in your team that doesn't normally have cover change nullification, guess what, they do now and they could go. That's really powerful because there's some units out there that with this would have been fantastic, but because they didn't have it, it was not as good. But now they will be good for a decent amount of time. So yeah, as insane as I thought, I definitely want to summon for this guy. I want to be able to use him on a multitude of teams. Use him, there's so much content with him because you can just basically give anyone in the game cover change now, so everyone has access to cover change nullification. So yeah, this guy seems good. Yellow was an interesting choice. I would have preferred blue, but I'm not too upset with it because looking at the teams, they all kind of need it. I think green, yellow and blue were the ones I wanted the most, so green and yellow getting 2 representations is nice. So yeah, I'm gonna be summoning for this. I hope anyone else who's summoning for this is getting lucky with their summons, having a very good time with their summons, getting all the units they want. The 1% sparking tag Frieza and Sal look really good as well. I definitely want to get copies of them because they are just overall an insanely valuable unit. The tags they have and everything is really good. So yeah, looking forward to summoning on all of these. Let me know what you think of this guy, whether you are summoning or not. And other guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button and see more in the future, subscribe. See you on the next one. Goodbye.